Ahoy hoy! Hibby here at the homestead, and this is my EDC update. I'm working at the coast now, so this is what I carry with me every day to make sure that I can handle some extreme cold weather. And I'll go inside and break it down for you guys so that you can see what I carry with me, so that you're prepared for really cold weather, cold extremes. I like to always say there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad gear. So we'll go inside and I'll show you guys what I keep in my kit, and stick with me. Okay. So it's been a while since I did a video, and I apologize for that. So it's been a while since I did my last EDC video, and I wanted to do an update and kind of go a little slower in this video and break things down a little bit. So we might go over the 10-minute mark, so I'll have to cut it into a couple videos. But I think it's very important to kind of go over each part of the kit so that you guys can understand why I carry it, and understand why I'm carrying things that may weigh more than the average person would carry, and some of the practical uses for it, and we'll go into it a little more in depth in this video. So I'm a big fan of the 5 C's of survival. You got your cover, your cutting tools, your combustibles, a container, and your cordage. So if you have all 5 of those things, then you can craft whatever you need in the field in order to survive for really a long-term situation. You know, you could stay out there forever with the right tools. And that's basically what bushcraft is being able to go out into the field and craft the tools that you need. So even if you don't have anything on you at all, you know how to knap stone and make an axe, or use stone to make a knife, to come up with flint to make fire. You know, there's multiple things you can do with the vegetation around you and the rocks and things from the earth that you can do to make tools that you need to survive. Okay, so the first C that we're going to go over today is cover. And I have a few options here to show you, and I'm going to go over why I would choose one over the other. So what we have here is just like an emergency poncho. And you can get this at Bi-Mart or, you know, your local store there for like dirt cheap. So this is just a real nice thing to have on you, just in the trunk of your car, or just on your bag, in your bag if you have a small like everyday carry bag. And you can use this for multiple things. You use it for emergency rain cover, and you can cover your firewood with it, which is a good thing. So I got an emergency blanket. This is also another form of cover, and it's waterproof, so it reflects 90% of heat. So this is a really good thing to have also. But for long term, you're not going to want these out in the field because they're just going to get blasted probably the first time you even use them. So what I like to use is just oil treated canvas. And what I have here is a 10 by 10 square tarp. And I like to use a square shape rather than a rectangular shape because there's just a lot more practical uses for it. There's just way more variations. You can stake it down to the ground to make any kind of shelter that you want, you know, a lean-to, or you can make like a tent structure out of it. You can turn a 10 by 10 into a lot more than you can do with the rectangular shape. So highly recommend going with a 10 by 10 or an 8 by 8, just something square, because that's going to be a lot more useful in the field. Why carry around a big heavy canvas tarp? Well, there's reasons why you'd want to carry this as opposed to something small like this tarp here. And I'm going to go into that. What it is I can put this next to a fire. I can butt it up right up against the fire and have the fire kind of underneath it, which will protect the fire from the rain. And I don't have to worry about this burning down to the ground on top of me. So if an ember jumps onto this, it's no problem, not a big deal. It's not going to do anything to it. This is bomb proof. You can take this into the field and it's going to last you for a long time. And it's going to work. And you can retreat it with animal fats or wax. You can just retreat it. So this is a long-term survivable situation as canvas. That's what I'm going with. And inside this canvas bedroll, I have a 8 by 8 wool blanket. It's pretty thick. So why wool? Well, wool is the same concept. Wool, if it gets wet, it's not going to hold the moisture in, and even if it does, it's going to keep you warm at least. As opposed to some of these other materials like nylon, that stuff, if you get it next to a fire, it's going to melt and it's just destroyed. If you get wool next to a fire, it's fire retardant because it's got so much oils in it. So the oil is going to protect you from catching on fire. So that being said, I can snuggle right next to the fire with my wool blanket and a canvas tarp over top of my head to keep the rain off me, and that's going to keep me safe in the middle of the night as well as warm, so that I don't have to worry about the fire catching my tent on fire or my clothes or burning me when I'm sleeping in a piece of plastic like this. So yeah, this is light, but you're only going to get a few uses out of this. This is not going to last you at all. And you're not going to want to get anywhere near an open flame. So not very good for a cold weather situation. This here, this is the biggest weight of my kit, is my bedroll. This will make my life so much more comfortable. And a big part of survival is sleep and your shelter. That's probably one of the hugest parts of survival, is just getting enough sleep. That's really going to help you to be able to have the energy to get done what you need to do the rest of the day. So I'm a big fan of carrying a big heavy canvas tarp. And 10 pounds, I'll wear that on my back all day long. I don't care. I mean, if I'm going to be covered up and safe at night and keep dry and warm, I'm willing to take that sacrifice. I also got an axe rolled up inside here too, so that's why it's pretty significant. It's pretty heavy, but you can lash that to your bag no problem. And we're out in the big ice storm, and I thought I'd show you guys some of the stuff that I use my EDC kit for, because tonight I'm gonna have to sleep in the work truck, so I'll go ahead and show you guys how I get that done. All right, stick with me, guys. Okay, so I'm in the dump box where we keep our wood chips, and this is where we chip all the wood to dispose of later that we're cutting out of the branches that fall into the power lines, and then we just chip all that stuff up and throw in the back of the dump box here. So I got my bedroll and I tied it up to the sides of the dump box there, and you can see there it makes a pretty comfy little bed for me to sleep on. Now these wood chips, they're breaking down, so they generate a lot of heat, but that also generates condensation, so it's a nice deal to have a tarp and a wool blanket, because that wool is going to repel water, and that tarp draped like that, it's going to let that condensation from the ceiling drip down on top of the tarp and then drip out past onto the other wood chips there. So that's going to keep me nice and dry while I sleep, and I should have a really comfortable night in here, because these chips generate a lot of heat. So even though it's about 30 degrees out here, this will keep me damn warm. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Never scared, always prepared. God bless.